guys, welcome back to my series Kicking It with Key. Today we're going to be talking through my foundation routine. I'll be doing some product recommendations as well so that you guys can go out and use some of the products that I'm using, but I'm trying to keep it more affordable so that you're not breaking the bank for makeup products or anything like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I've already cleansed my face and put my moisturizer on. As I said in my favorites video last week, I've been using the Tatcha Deep Cleanser, and then I've been using the, I actually forget what the actual moisturizer is called, but it is also Tatcha, so I use that to moisturize. And then I actually use witch hazel to clarify my skin with like a little cotton pad. Other than that, that's pretty much what I do for my skincare routine. Obviously, I use some serums and other things of that nature. If you are interested in my skincare routine, please give this video a thumbs up. Also, all of the products that I'll be using or mentioning will be mentioned down in the description box below. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Normally do for my foundation is obviously I'll put I'll clean my face, I'll put my moisturizer on. Lately I've been really loving the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer. This is a matte finish, and before I was more of a person that really loved a dewy finish, but I've noticed over the years my skin has been changing and I have more of a combination skin than I do a dry skin in particular. So I use that, put that all over my face. Normally I'll do my brows, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna actually speed up this portion of the video. Now that I kind of have my brows filled in, I'll kind of brush them through one more time. And then the next thing that I end up doing is I'll use like a flat top synthetic brush. And this is actually a Morphe brush. I'm not sure what the number is, but I'll make sure that I put it in the description box below. I take my NYX Full Coverage Concealer, like so. I use the color Tan. And I actually go back and outline my brows. All right, now that I have my brows outlined, I cleaned up my brows or any of the messes that I made with the brow definer. I've cleaned them up. And so the next thing I'm gonna use is now my foundation. And lately I've been loving a couple foundations. The one that I've been primarily using is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. It actually goes with the mattifying primer, so these have been perfect. In this particular video, I'm going to be using the YSL Touche Éclat Le Tint Radiance Awakening Foundation in the color B80 Chocolate. This particular foundation normally runs for $65 at Sephora. What I really love about this foundation is how buildable it is, and sometimes I feel like really full coverage foundations are just not suited for my skin. I like to be able to build up the color on my skin. And this is exactly what this foundation allows me to do. So I know this is kind of weird, but I'll put it on the back of my hand and I'll kind of swipe it. And it looks orange. It looks really bad, actually, when you first put it on, but then once I blend it out, it'll start to look really good. And then I take my beauty blender that is like really beat up. It's actually a Real Techniques brand I stopped using the Beauty Blender brand because it's $20 a sponge, and these are only $8 at your local drugstore or Target or whatever, what have you. Whenever I'm blending in my foundation, I actually use the big side here. As you can see, I have like a stain, but I kind of use like a blotting motion to help spread out the foundation. So now it's starting to start to blend in. It does look very orange in this lighting, but compared to when I first put it on, it's starting to blend. All right, the next thing that I do in my foundation routine is I do my concealer. I used to color correct, but I don't do that anymore. Normally when I had like super bad acne scarring, I would. Now that my skin is doing pretty well, and on top of that, I have a pretty decent skincare routine going on. I use a lot of brightening serums and stuff like that. So a lot of my acne scarring is lightening up. But the next thing that I normally do is, like I said, is concealer. And I've been using the Huda Beauty, the Overachiever Concealer. And this is in the color Butterscotch. And this is amazing because it's not one of those like little applicators such as this. And then this one is the Makeup Revolution, I believe. Yeah, it's the Revolution Conceal and Define. And this is very similar to the Tarte Shape Tape, but it's only $13 versus $30. And another concealer that I love using is the LA Girls Concealer. And sometimes I'll mix the two because this one's a little bit darker. So you know what? I'm actually going to use my LA Girls concealer today. I don't have much left, but it's a lot lighter so that it can help with this redness. And I'll take the pointy end of my little Real Techniques Beauty Blender and I'll go in there with blotting motions. So now you can see I feel a lot better with the way my foundation looks now, with the color of the concealer that I'm putting on helped neutralize the redness in the foundation. Plus the foundation was able to set. Normally whenever you put the foundation on, or whenever I put the foundations on that I use, when it's wet, looks completely different from when it's actually set and dry. So finished doing my concealer. And that's kind of the reason why I also put the concealer on my T-zone and my chin, so that I can also not just neutralize under my eyes, but also the rest of my face. So the rest of my face matches the color that I want to achieve. The next thing that I love to do is my setting powder. And when I was growing up, teenager into my early 20s, I never liked to set my foundation, but now I can't get enough of it. It actually helps with the longevity of my foundation as well. So I've been using the translucent extra coverage air-spun powder. And you can actually purchase this from the drugstore or big box store like Target or Walmart. And I am absolutely loving this. It's a little messy. I'll take my beauty blender and I will actually dip the beauty blender, shake off the excess, And I like to bake. I still like to bake, if that's even still a technique that people use. So now that I have my setting powder on, the next thing that I'm gonna do is actually do contour. So I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation in the color Earth. This is what it looks like. I get a lot of use out of it, and I normally contour on my forehead, the hollows of my cheeks, underneath, and then also my nose, so that contour is popping. I let this sit for a little while, and then in the meantime, if I haven't done my eyebrows, I'll do my eyebrows. Normally I'll go ahead and get started on my eye makeup, but I haven't really been wearing eye makeup lately. I've just kind of been putting on like an inner corner highlight and calling it a day. Since I won't be doing a full eye makeup, I'll basically just put on some mascara. I have been using the L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Carbon in Carbon Black. Now that that's finished, I'm gonna go in and I'm going to actually wipe away my contour. I'm gonna use this is a brush off of Amazon, I believe, but I'll try and find a link to it. But I'll use this to get my contour off and blend that in. Appreciate you guys watching my series and supporting my husband and I's channel. And yeah, this is the finished look. It's very clean, perfect for everyday makeup. To use the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray to set everything and lock everything into place, and that is what I'm gonna do now. If you have a job or anything like that and it kind of requires you to wear makeup, or you just want to put on a little bit of makeup, I highly recommend doing this. As I said in the beginning of this video, thank you so much for watching. Be sure that click that subscribe button right down here in the right hand corner for you. And I will talk to you guys next time.